So that's what we're going to do today, is do some student orientation. The English word orientation comes from the Latin orientum, meaning the east or the rising sun. Okay, orient. Hey, I want to orient myself. Well, you're going to have to know north, east, west, and south, apparently. You're going to have to know the rising sun, because ultimately we want to find the rising sun within us. That's what it's all about. So that's what we're going to do today. Student orientation. We're going to orient ourselves, okay? Some of the tools that we'll be using over the years is planispheres. So you're going to need one at your latitude, right? Basically, right? 30, 40, that's basically where I'm at right now. I think we're just about 45 here in Missouri, that sort of thing. This is the one I like a lot. I use this, and I've always used this one because it's got all the markers. It's got the asterisms on there, and we'll go over all this, like I said, moving forward. All the asterisms on there. It's all the constellations. It's really easy to read, that sort of stuff. So I highly recommend this one. I always tell people to get this one just because it's my favorite. You'll definitely need a planisphere. So what we're going to do is orient ourselves to the cosmos, meaning like, hey, I want to understand the stars. I want to find northeast, west, and south. I want to understand these basics, and we're going to orient yourselves to the cosmos. We're going to use a couple constellations, so that way you can find, hey, where's the ecliptic? Where's the zodiac? Where's the, where's the Milky Way? That sort of thing. So we're going to start with, we're going to use Orion, Cassiopeia, the Big Dipper, also known as Ursa Major, which I'm certain most people can see Orion and the Big Dipper, and we'll show you where Cassiopeia is, and then Polaris, okay? And so the first thing, once again, we're going to have to know is, hey, you're on a celestial sphere. You're on that plane. This is what a planisphere means, by the way, okay? This is called a planisphere. You know why? Because you're on a flat plane with a sphere around you. That's where you are. This is why it's a planisphere, okay? So when you look up to that point in the center, you're going to find Polaris. All right? You're going to find Polaris. Oh, there's the circle of all the heavens. There's God. So God is at the very top there. That's where God rests on his throne. Okay? And that's Polaris. And everybody knows this is where everything revolves around. So Polaris is where God sits in the center, of course. He's in the center. So that's where God sits. And then everything revolves around him. So if we want to find this center, so once again, we want to find Polaris, the northern star. It's called the North Star. It's called the Pole Star, because everything revolves around the north. Everything revolves around the pole. So we want to find that. Well, one of the ways that we can find it is with one of the constellations that everybody knows. That is the Big Dipper, or what's known as Ursa Major, the Great Bear. Most people can just see the trough or the ladle, the big, that's what it is, big spoon. We can also see those 7 stars, and those are the 7 stars, God's 7 stars, that guides us home to that center point in the middle of the whole thing. So if we want to go out and find north, how do we do that? We find that with the Big Dipper, okay? So let's go to Stellarium here. So I want to find the Pole Star, but I don't see the Big Dipper at all. I don't see. Well, you got to find the Big Dipper, and then the Big Dipper will point. So let's see if we can find it here. Oh, does everybody see it? It's coming into view now. Oh, there it is. There's the Big Dipper. You can see it's coming. It's labeled there, but you can see. So here we can see boom, 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 and I'll pause this. So we want to find the Big Dipper. So I don't know where any other star. I don't know what any of these stars are. You got me. I don't know. But I do know this one. I know those 7 stars that are guiding me home. So we're going to follow this. Here's your ladle, and then here's your handle, and here's your ladle, your spoon. So all you're going to do is follow these 2, and generally go boop right there. That's essentially where north star is. So we want to find north. Well, in order to find east and west and south, we're going to have to find north first. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on the Great Bear. And then there's this. So there it is. There's the Ursa Major. And then it points to Ursa Minor. It's the little bear. And in the tail of the little bear is Polaris. So if, hey, I want to find a couple bears in the sky, that's how you do that, okay? So, okay. Now, what happens? What happens if you can't see the Big Dipper? Let's say the Big Dipper is below the horizon. You can't see it. There's clouds or trees blocking it or something, and you can't see the Big Dipper. And I still want to find north. Well, we can't use the Great Bear. We can't use that, okay? What do? Well, we'll use Cassiopeia. We'll use the Big M, okay? And that can tell us where the north is too. So let's say, oh, there's a big mountain here. There's a big mountain here. See this here? Oh, we can't see that Ursa Major right there. Well, I can look for the Cassiopeia right here. And that Cassiopeia, if we look at the center of the M, the Cassiopeia is a big queen, And this is a very bright constellation. So maybe Ursa Major, I can't see it. Well, we can find the M. You'll be able to see one of these. If we look at the center of the M, bloop, you can pretty much go right over, and Polaris will be a bright star right here. So if you don't see Cassiopeia, you can use the Big Bear. If you don't see the Big Bear, you can see Cassiopeia, and that will tell you where Polaris is. Does everybody see that? So that's how you find north. You're going to use the Big Bear or Cassiopeia. And then from there, once you have those main star patterns, then once you start learning the rest of the stars, you'll be able to start pointing out where the rest of the stuff is. I'll give you an example. Once you know the Big Dipper, which is very easy to see, now if you just look to the left of it, you're going to find Leo. Hey, I found the Big Dipper. Look to the left of it now. What are you going to see? There's Big Dipper. You're going to see Leo the Lion. You can see it right there. The main star in Leo the Lion is Regulus, and it's a bright star. That bright star is right on the ecliptic. Now, the ecliptic is the path of the stars, the sun, and the moon. So the 5 planets, sun, moon, or Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, that sort of thing. Then the sun and the moon. This is the path. They call it the wolf path. The Cherokee called it, I believe. That path goes east and west. We know that because the sun rises east and it sets in the west. So that's the path it takes. So now I see the Big Dipper. There's the Big Dipper. Boom. I can find the pole star. Okay, now I want to find the ecliptic just using the Big Dipper. Just go to the left of it. You're going to find that path that goes east and west. And you're going to see Leo the Lion. And you can find exactly where the pinpoint of that is, of the ecliptic is, right by the main star in Leo. This is Polaris right here. We're going to go over, shoot, and then, I know where Ursa Major is. I know where the Big Dipper is. I know where those 7 stars that are guiding me home is. Boom, I'm going to look right to the left. There, you're going to see the Leo the Lion. And this is what Leo the Lion looks like. He looks like a sphinx. Okay? Looks like a sitting lion. Once you know that, then guess what? Then you can start walking through your zodiac if you know your zodiac. What's before the lion? What's after the lion? Is it Cancer? Is it, that sort of thing? Then you can start going from there. Now you can follow east to west. So there's Leo. There's Virgo. All right? And keep going. Oh, there's Antares. There's Scorpio. There's Scorpio pointing to the center of the Milky Way. This is following. There's your ecliptic. So now once you find, I can see that. Even if the stars are faint, you'll still be able to see Regulus. You'll still, I can follow this over. And once you start learning these main stars, then you can follow the zodiac. Okay? So this is the Big Dipper and the Big M. So either one of those main constellations will point to where the north is. Now, if you know where Cassiopeia is, you know where that big M in the sky is, you also know where the Milky Way is. What does milk start with? M. That's a good way of understanding it, right? Put it in your head. Mothers, milk, M, Milky Way. Now, once you know where Cassiopeia is, I can be like, you know what's just right of Cassiopeia? Pegasus. Pegasus. It's a big constellation. Let's see if we can find it here. When we find the M, now just look to the right of it. Look to the right. What you're going to see right here. You're going to see, I'm sorry if it's not in full view. You're going to see, boom. See that? There's your Pegasus. This is this great square of Pegasus. Big square. And then his feetsies. And you'll see this. The ones from there, hey, I know that. You know what that is? That's Pisces. That's one of the fish of Pisces right there. I can see that. There's the moon going through the ecliptic. So we know we're in the ecliptic. We know we're in the path right here. Everybody see that? So Pegasus, there's Pegasus. Now, Pegasus is basically rides along the ecliptic, okay? Now, once you find out where the Milky Way is, and you got, there's Cassiopeia, there's the mother of the milk. I'm just going to follow the Milky Way. I'm going to follow that way. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. What is the way? It's the Milky Way, people. And what you're going to find is the Northern Cross. You see this bad boy right here? The big star named Deneb. Hey, maybe I'm lost. I don't even know where north and south is, but I can see the Milky Way. Follow the Milky Way. And what you're going to do is find the Northern Cross here. And this is the constellation of Cygnus. Okay? And this is a bright constellation. It's very noticeable in the sky. Of course, one of the main stars is Deneb. Now, let's say I want to find, let's do some more orientation. And we're going to find Orion. Orion is, once again, one of the most notable constellations in the sky. Orion is, of course, the hunter. Sometimes he's shown as, a lot of times it's a club and a shield, sometimes a sword and a shield. Now, Orion's very prominent. So once you find Orion, you can find tons of stuff. Okay? The first thing you're going to see is, where is Orion pointing to? The Milky Way. So if we're like, hey, where's the Milky Way? It's a little faint, that sort of thing. If I know where Orion is, I follow his club or his sword up, boom, I'm in the center of that Milky Way right there. Once I get there, I can follow it. Oh, there's Cygnus, there's whatever. The other thing, what Orion's sword is doing, it's pointing to 2 specific places, actually 3, but the ecliptic. If you see right there, you find Orion, you find Orion's belt, you form Orion in the sky, follow his sword up, boom. I know if I follow his sword up, the ecliptic's right there, as well as the Milky Way. There's Orion, more into frame. What's Orion doing? There is his sword touching, there's the Milky Way. Then here is the ecliptic, right here. You know, how do you know this? There's Aldebaran. That's Taurus. There's the horns of Taurus. Here's Gemini coming up right here. So now we know Orion, boom, striking that center of that Milky Way right there. Also tells us where the ecliptic is. So Orion becomes a pretty important piece of this puzzle here, okay? So if we want to see, hey, I want to know where the Milky Way is. I want to know where the ecliptic is. I want to know where, that's, boom, right there. So Orion, by being the, bright star that he is, collection of stars that he is actually telling you about all of that sort of stuff. Right there, the ecliptic, the Milky Way, where it all crosses. Of course, if you know where the ecliptic is, you know where east and west is. If you know where east and west is, you can find north. So let's just follow this Milky Way all the way up. Where's this Milky Way going to lead us? Oh, there's the M. There's the M. Let's follow this Milky Way. What else? If we follow the Milky Way, we keep following. What are we going to find? Oh, there's the Northern Cross. There it is. See that? Okay.